Good afternoon, everyone. It's Toria from Heartizan, one of the admins, and I'm going to talk to you about mindfulness this afternoon, which is one of my favourite subjects because it's something I practice every day and was taught a good 5-6 years ago, and it's something I love and think is a fantastic technique. Oh, sorry, just about to drop a piece of paper. And I would like to share with you all and hope that you maybe learn something, and if you learn something, you do, and if you don't, you don't, but hopefully you will. So I shall just jump straight into it. Hopefully there isn't too much of a delay on my upload speed. So what is mindfulness, and why would you want to use it? Well, mindfulness is often associated with meditation. Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present of where we are and what we are doing. So, for example, I'm here, I'm sat in my living room with my computer in front of me, and it's recording you. I'm staring at the computer screen, and my book. I've got all sorts of things around me. So I'm thinking about talking to you on the computer. I'm thinking about the cushions behind me. I'm thinking about my hot water bottle. I'm thinking about whether the phone might ring in the middle of my live. I'm thinking about all the comments that could come up. I'm thinking about all sorts of things at the moment, but they're all in my mind, but they're all present, and they're not taking over. They're there, and I'm just letting them fly through my brain, and I'm just accepting that they're there. So that's part of what mindfulness are. I'm not becoming overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's around me or what's happening in my brain, but it's just there. So that's part of what mindfulness is. You allow yourself to be present but not overwhelmed by what's happening. So we allow everything to pass but not become involved in it as part of mindfulness. So I'm just trying to read my notes, and I realise I can't actually read my own writing. Mindfulness allows us to bring awareness to what you are experiencing via your senses, your state of mind, via your thoughts and emotions by being mindful. So, like I just said, I'm not worrying about whether my phone's going to ring in the middle of this live. If my phone rings, the phone rings. I'm just going to sit here carrying on talking to you, and you'll just have to hear the phone ring. C'est la vie. Life goes on. I have a headache. Well, I always have a headache of some degree. I shall just carry on. I can't do anything about it. It's part of my normal state of being, you could say. I suffer with chronic migraines. I can't do much about it. I've had all my tablets. I've just got to accept it's there. But one thing mindfulness does let you do, and they've been able to prove this through scans of your brain and through MRIs and through looking through primarily Buddhist monks' actually brains, is you can actually remodel your brain using mindfulness and meditation, which is quite exciting, I think. And so it's a practice that if you actually get involved in on a regular basis, you can actually find to be very, very helpful. But it does actually take time. Whoever is commenting as the Creating Happy Dances page, you don't actually have to keep your mind still, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. One of the goals of mindfulness is to wake up to the inner workings of your mental and emotional and physical processes even. So, mindfulness is often associated with meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is exploring the mind with no fixed destination. Your head does not become a vacuum without thought, which is completely undistracted. So where Creating Happy Dances has said, I find it hard to get your mind still, when you're meditating, you're not trying to think of nothing. You allow thoughts to go through it, but then you allow yourself to come back to the present. So you accept that you've had a thought, and then instead of dwelling upon that thought, you come back to the present. As you meditate, you venture into your mind and you allow yourself to feel sensations like the air blowing on your skin or the smell in a room. So some people meditate with their eyes shut and others meditate with their eyes open. You can meditate sitting up. You can meditate lying down. Everybody is completely different. Some people meditate in the lotus position. Some people meditate sitting bolt upright in a chair with their feet flat on the floor, with their hands on their knees. You can have your palms facing up to try and feel the energy coming from the air, or you can have your palms face down on top of your knees. You could have them in your lap. It really doesn't matter how you want to meditate. It's whatever is comfortable for you. Meditation is all about allowing you to focus on yourself and what's going on in your body. And there is no right or wrong way to meditate. And many people say, oh, I can't meditate. I just can't, I can't stop thinking. And it's not just about not thinking. It's allowing yourself to feel and sense and in some way to think about what's going on. So when you are meditating even, you can sometimes get a rush of emotions, and it might be happiness. So you might sit there and have a giggle, or you might suddenly start crying and have this well of sadness, or fear, or sometimes hunger. I mean, there's all sorts of different emotions that you can feel whilst meditating, and it's really powerful what you can feel when you do. I bet you can, Chrissy. Sorry, I'm just responding to a comment here. So meditation you need to do whilst you've got quiet time, but mindfulness you can do anytime, any place, anywhere. So mindfulness is available to us all the time, in every moment. And it comes in many forms. So mindfulness can come in the form of meditation. It can come in the form of a body scan, where you can sit and you think about your body from the very top, and you just scan your body from all the way from the top, and you think about it, and you go, oh, right, well, I got a sore bit, maybe just here. And then you go down your body, and you think all the way down to the bottom of your toes. And you just work out which bits are sore, which bits hurt, maybe don't hurt, are tense. So that's what you would call a body scan. You can do a mindful eating of a piece of chocolate. Oh, that's good, that one is. Oh, chocolate tastes good that way. Where you let the chocolate dissolve in your mouth, and you think about what the chocolate feels like in your mouth. What different senses does it smell nice? I mean, it could take 5 minutes to get the chocolate even to your mouth. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? What does it look like? Then you go into all of the senses it evokes when the chocolate's in your mouth. There's all sorts of different things you can do with a taste or a eating mindfulness. You could do a mindful walk. That can be great. You can mindfully craft, which is what I do all the time. And then you can mindfully focus on the breath. There are so many forms of mindfulness that you can do that it really is just such an open book. And I mean, one of the people I follow quite actively, often, I don't know what the word is a gentleman called John Kabat-Zinn, and he's on YouTube. You find him on Facebook and all sorts of other places online. And one of his phrases is, mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And I think that's a perfect quote, because it really is what mindfulness is about. You're not judging anything. You're just allowing everything to be without judgment, with just allowing yourself to just be. So how would you practice mindfulness? One of the, you allow yourself to put some space between your reactions and yourself, and between your conditioned response. You allow yourself to set aside some time and space, because let's face it, in this world, we are all so busy that there is just no time to do anything. We are all so busy that we have children, we have jobs, we're trying to do 10 things at once, and we just don't have time for ourselves. So even if you only spend 5 minutes to focus on your breath, you just set that time aside. Second thing you do is just observe the present moment as it is. You're not aiming to quiet your mind or achieve external calm. You're just trying to observe the moment without judgment. So, you could just sit there for 5 minutes, even if it's in your car, whilst, you can actually do this whilst driving along, because you don't have to close your eyes. You can sit there and say you're in a traffic jam. I mean, I can't because I don't drive, but, you could sit there behind the steering wheel and you could just observe what's going on. And you sat there and you can go, right, well, there's cars passing round me, see, I'm getting my words muddled. There's cars passing me. There's, the sun shining. You could think about how you're feeling in the car. If you've got any stresses and strains, does your back hurt? Is everything a bit fuzzy? Have you put your glasses on? Could you not see the car in front properly because you've not put your glasses on, or something like that? Think about, so you're observing what's going on in that present moment. You might have thoughts that just go through your head, like, oh God, those children are annoying me today. But you just let that thought go through your head. And you don't have to react to that thought. You just observe the thought and go, okay, right, those little sods, they're annoying me. And you just go on to the next one, which could be, why is that idiot putting on their brakes? And then you go on to the next thought, but you just observe your judgments and thoughts and you let them pass. You don't think about them and go into a long, convoluted discussion in your head, like we all do and are prone to do, you just let them happen. It's very difficult when you're first trying to practice mindfulness to get into this habit of just observing a thought rather than getting into that whole discussion in your head about your thoughts. And it was one of the most difficult things I had to learn, was to let that thought just travel through my head and to not interact with it. And the best way I found of doing that was to focus on the breath. And in a minute, I'm going to do a mindfulness practice on the breath, the basic breath. And hopefully, it only takes a few minutes. That might help some people to just think about how to get into the mode of mindfulness, the thinking about how to do mindfulness. And I'm not answering your questions properly at the moment, or even I'm looking at the odd comment. I'm more talking at you. Apologies, but it's to hopefully try and get you to understand how to maybe apply mindfulness to your lives. I'm quite happy to do some more of these because I've done quite a lot of mindfulness training, and I've got loads of guided meditations and guided mindfulness practices. Is that the plural? Yeah, practices that I can do. So you've had a thought go into your head and you've let it pass through. You then return back to the moment, whether it's you returning back to focusing on your breath or the feel of your hands on your knees. You can't actually see, I've just put my hands on my knees. But you just return back to the moment so that you're not letting your mind get carried away by your thought. And you're being kind to your wandering mind. Don't let it judge yourself. Don't worry if you've got lots of thoughts going through your head. It takes practice. It takes lots and lots of practice to be able to do a mindful practice or a meditation. And I've been doing meditation how long have I been doing meditation for? I've probably been doing it for 25 years now. So I've got lots of experience, which is why I can meditate for an hour and a half at a time. And it is, for me, brilliant for my pain and everything like that. Of course, we can do one in the Imaginarium. It's allowing you to recognise your mind wandering and just bringing it back to the moment. So that's the really roundabout whistle-stop tour of what mindfulness is. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm recording this, and it will be on the Heartizan. What are we on? Heartizan page, so you can all catch up on it as well. And I thought what we could do is, firstly, I'm just trying to. I've got two here, so I'll do this one. Is an awareness exercise. So if you all get yourself comfortable, as they say, and I'm just going to get myself comfortable, because if I'm going to read this and I'm going to read it properly, I would rather be comfortable. And you could be sitting up, you could be lying down. If you don't have to watch me, you can just listen to my voice. So if you're sitting down, I would suggest you don't have your legs crossed, because that restricts the blood flow to your legs and you might find that you get pins and needles. It's suggested you put your feet flat on the floor if you're sitting. If you're lying down, just lie whatever is comfortable, and make yourself aware. Notice the feeling of being in a chair or lying on the floor or on a bed. What does it feel like to have your feet on the floor? What does it feel like to have the feel of your clothes on your skin? Can you feel your hair? Are your hands cold? Does anything itch? Does one part of you feel colder than the other? Just take a deep breath. Breathe in, and then just leave it and hold it and breathe out. And have a little shake and just make yourself feel all relaxed. And then just be aware of, have all those sensations changed? Do you feel a bit different? Has anything changed? Has the feeling of the chair or whatever you are touching changed? So you then can just think about all of that. But that's a very short awareness exercise you can do. And you can do that anywhere. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be lying down or standing up. Or you could do that standing in a crowd, just to make yourself aware of what's around you, because you can actually extend that to what you hear as well. Because you can extend that to the feeling of the sun if you're outside on your skin. So if I move on to a breathing exercise. So you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. So start with, notice the sensation of breathing. After a few minutes, we'll start this properly. But for starters, just be aware of your breathing. Is it fast or is it slow? Can you feel your heartbeat? Are you breathing in through your nose or are you mouth breathing? Notice that whole sensation. Are you breathing with your chest or with your abdomen? Pick a place where the sensation of breathing is most clear and vivid. Do you feel it most clearly in your chest? Can you feel that feeling of your chest going out and in and out and in as you breathe? Feel that sensation and just stay with it. Just think about the sensation of breathing. How does it make you feel? Has your mind wandered from that feeling of the breath? Have you started to think about your daily chores? If it has, just bring it back to that feeling of the breath and how it feels. If you're struggling to keep it focused on one thing or on nothing, don't worry. Just let it go. Just bring that struggle back to the awareness of breathing. In and out. in and out. It's important to merely bring your awareness back to the sensation of breathing whenever you become aware that your focus has wandered. Relaxation often occurs with these exercises, which can be an added bonus. Doesn't matter if you don't become relaxed. It's all about allowing yourself to become one with the breath. You can also find that your pain may decrease whilst focusing on the breath as you add more oxygen to your system. You can become more aware of distractions. For example, you can become aware of pain, of mood, of feelings. Maybe you can hear a sound, or the sound of the birds outside. Maybe there's a change in temperature. Just notice that a distraction has occurred, and then bring the awareness back to the breath, of that breathing in and out, in and out. Become aware of yourself. Just make a mental note of any experiences. Do you feel any emotions? And if your mind is wandering again, don't worry, just come back to that breath. Breathe in and out, and in and out. Just know that you are breathing. Focus on your breath without changing it. Just say to yourself, I am breathing. I am breathing. And then allow yourself to just wiggle your fingers and your toes and just bring a bit more life back into yourself, because we often relax quite a bit when doing these exercises. And then give your shoulders a shake, and maybe your legs. And if you shut your eyes, open your eyes. And then see how you feel. Has your mind wandered? Have you managed to relax for a few minutes? Has the phone rung during it, like mine is now? Or have you managed to actually relax for a bit? How do you feel? Let me have a comment. You can listen to my answer phone as well. So, how was your first meditation or mindfulness exercise? Did you feel anything? One of the ways you can actually help improve meditation or mindfulness is to actually make a note of what you're doing and what happens each time. And see in a journal and see if each time you get better and you can do it for longer, and see what your experiences are like. So I'm not going to waffle on for much longer, because hopefully you're all feeling a little bit more relaxed. I hope. I'm crossing my fingers. If you've got any questions, either put them on this. Oh, what did you say, Vicky? That was amazing. I felt all the weight drop from my shoulders. Slight distraction as the washing machine is spinning. Well, that's fine. It's something that happens in life. But I'm glad you felt the weight drop. So that's really good. But, it's something I practice regularly. Well, several times a day. Especially in bed when I can't sleep. So yeah, I'm really glad that you found it helped. You're packing envelopes. I know you are. I've seen the picture. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your, I don't know what day we're on, Saturday. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. And I will see you all soon. And I'm quite happy to do another one. Please message me if you've got any questions or want to know any more about mindfulness. And I will see you all soon. Lots of love. And I'll try and work out